There's some wings and cheesecake, so feel free to grab some. Yeah, my name is Maria. I'm the president of Jersey Student Government, and welcome to our last town hall. So we're gonna start with the icebreaker question. The question for today is, what's your plans for the summer? I'll go first, and we're gonna go this way.
Okay.
So when you answer the icebreaker question, if you can introduce yourself with the answer, it'll be really great. So everyone like knows your name and pronouns. So my name is Maria. I use she, her pronouns. My plan for the summer is probably like just working out. I'm in this oh, okay. Actually, no, that was not my answer. Okay, I'm gonna do it again. Okay, so for this summer, I'm gonna learn Spanish, like for real. And I'm in this like one community like running club, so I'm gonna like I don't know, like try to go to all the practices and hopefully like do better on like 5K than last year. Yes.
Okay, so my name is Jennifer Gamino Alvarez. I use she, her pronouns. And for the summer, I'm gonna be doing summer research at Michigan Tech, so I'm so excited. Then the second half of summer, I'm gonna be running with Maria, so it'll be fun.
Hello, my name is Troy Cornwall. I'm the communications director. My pronouns is him. And my plans for the summer is taking a break off of school and then just transferring next fall.
Nice.
I'm Lydia Lopez, pronouns she, her. I'm the president of Staying Rooted. And for summer, I'll still be taking classes.
My name is Jasmine and I'm the secretary of Staying Rooted and my pronouns are she, her. And for summer I'll be working and just enjoying summer.
Next.
My name is Lucas. First meeting, pronouns are he, him, and links. And I'll be taking more classes this summer.
Nice.
Nice.
My name is Ella Johnson. I am the vice president of the Democrats at GRCC. My pronouns are they, them. And over the summer, I'm going to be working here in the Language Arts Tutorial Lab. And I'm also doing a summer cultural nonprofit internship with the University of Michigan. And they haven't told me anything about it. So I'm a little concerned, but we're figuring it out. Yay.
They can't take forever.
Yeah.
My name is Jessica Duran. I'm she, her. I'm VP of the book club. And my plans for the summer are just continue my classes and work.
Next.
I'm Eldon. This is also my first meeting. I use he, him, and over the summer, I'm going to the beach.
No.
Which beach?
So I don't know, so anywhere near Lake Michigan.
So you can buy me a plane ticket to go with.
Where's Old?
Oh, it's like, yeah, it's like an hour, 45 minutes away. It's very nice. Yeah.
It's really big.
I think they allow dogs, right?
Yeah.
They do allow dogs, so watch out for dogs.
Thank you.
I'm Chase. I am the communication director of Rotaract. Hopefully I'll get an internship for engineering this summer.
Nice.
Hopefully. I got an interview lined up. But we're gonna be doing some like highway cleanup, other volunteer activities, and yeah, I will be taking classes during all that. Calc 1 and English 102.
I'm Akira. I'm a member of the Biomedical Sciences Club, and over the summer, I'll probably just be working and taking classes. Enjoy the weather.
I'm Dylan with the Biomedical Club. I will be gone for most of the summer working, but hopefully making money.
I'm Alexa, I'm the editor-in-chief of the Collegian. I use she, her pronouns. Over the summer, I have a freelance opportunity with the local paper, and then I moved to Ann Arbor, so it'll be good.
Oleg, Daniel Lascano. The summer I'm going to be having an intern in Steelcase, and the next summer I'm going to be playing soccer.
I'm Vicky, I use she and her. I'm just gonna be working on my yoga shop during the summer. Hopefully find a associate job.
So I'm Victoria, I use she, her, and this summer I'm going by two friends to stay with my family. Yeah, awesome.
I am Shannon, she, her pronouns are. And this summer I am just going to do more work for CAB and work at other places, make money. Yeah. This morning.
My name is Braden and I'm the president of Campus Activities Board, and I recently got accepted to Ferris, so they're starting this summer and I did an internship at Cornwall Health, so I'm excited about that.
I thought you were gonna go to Davenport.
A lot has changed in 2 weeks.
You lied to me. All right, now Victoria's gonna talk a little bit about upcoming CAB events and updates.
So we have two upcoming events. On April 17, we have Free Food Day. So it's an event to celebrate student government and CAB, everything we did through the year. So you can just come by and grab free food. It will be in the 4th floor. It's the parking lot, you know, inside. And we have CAB decoration on the 18th. So it's 22. So you can just come with your graduation cap and decorate it. And we have some update for summer events ideas. So we're gonna pass a QR code, or you can just see it in the agenda. We're asking you guys what you would like to see this summer on the campus in terms of events.
You want to go over some of the ideas that we've had?
So we have a couple ideas such as smoothie, tie and dye, unwind event, canvas painting, and your games. So those are our main idea, and we put them on Instagram, and students vote mostly for smoothie and tie and dye. But we want to know what you think and what are your ideas too.
So there's a QR code that will be posted. It is also on the agenda, so if anyone currently has the agenda pulled up, you're more than welcome to use this as an opportunity now to fill out that form. Just so we can get some feedback to make sure that we're providing events that students want.
We're also looking for feedback too of any new ideas that you guys might think that you haven't seen yet, for the summer to try, or even fall or winter next year as well.
Yeah,
Yeah, no, I'm just saying on that survey too, there's another text box as well that you can put your idea, or like I said, you can share it now too. Like I said, we're looking for feedback, so. Yeah.
I'm sorry, but where's the QR code gonna be posted? It's currently on the agenda for this town hall, but we will post it to social media. Okay. And then it'll also be in Raider Connect by the end of the day. Awesome, thank you. Yep, and I mean, there is that opportunity on that form to place any ideas that you have, but we also have a separate event survey form, which gives you the opportunity to give us feedback about events that we did this year, and also provide any suggestions for any events you'd like to see in the future, so. And that is also on video.
Then, I wanted to quick circle back to the Free Food Day that student government and CAB were doing together. The venue is Walking Tacos, so it should be, it's like in a little like Fritos bag, I think, so it's something you guys can like come grab a snack. And then Victoria and Troy have been working really hard on kind of creating this presentation on the tables that you can sit at to kind of take a look at the events we've done, some of the student government's achievements that they've worked really hard on, just kind of a celebration for both groups of all the hard work we both put in. So definitely encourage you to go, bring friends, so, yeah.
Now it's time for student government treasurer's report. So,
Okay, so the amount that we currently have in the student activities budget is $15,787 with 92 cents. So clubs will still be able to make some allocation requests over the summer, but it will have to be under the $1,000 mark. If you wanted some things to review over $1,000, it would have been for this town hall. And we do actually have one allocation request we were reviewing this town hall. And that allocation request is in the amount of $1,748.60 on behalf of the Staying Rooted Club. If you guys wanted to talk more about that and what you guys plan to do with that money.
So that money that we're requesting is, for seeds and also tools that we still need for our club, since we have started this year really picking up with activities and things like that. We don't have, pretty much, whatever we're working with is what's in the greenhouse. But we kind of want to move it to where we have more accessibility to those spaces, because in order to get to those rooms or to the greenhouse, we need our advisors there. But because they are full-time staff, sometimes our schedule do not align and we can't go up there without them and do more activities as we would like. So it's just for equipment, seeds that we still need to do. And those activities are all open for everybody that's a student at GRC.
Yeah, if anyone has any questions for the Staying Rooted Club, you guys can ask that now and we can like talk about it.
What kind of seeds?
Fruits, vegetables, there's a lot of varieties, and then also like plants, because a few other like activities and projects that we have in our schedule is we are gonna be a part of the beautification that's gonna be happening here at GRCC. And also we picked up another project at MTech that we're gonna be beautifying as well.
I have a question. So like after you guys grow everything, like, are you guys gonna like share some of the fruit?
Yeah, so those fruits, whatever we harvest is gonna be for the community. And another thing, we are partnering up with food pantry here at GRCC.
That's awesome.
So a lot of it's gonna be going towards like the students.
That's a good idea.
That's great. Yes.
You said that, you guys aren't able to access the greenhouse unless there's somebody from staff, is that
Yeah.
correct? Gotcha. And then you had mentioned that the resource allocation from today would go towards, being able to access it more, how is that?
Yeah, so we have two small like greenhouses that we request within that allocation, and that's what's gonna help us really being able to do more activities without going to the greenhouse on the 5th floor at the science building, and we'll be able to have it outside.
Gotcha, so there's multiple greenhouses, some of them have limited resources, and if you have more resources for them, then you'll be able to go to the ones that don't require staff
Right.
more often, gotcha.
I have a question too. When do these events start? Is it gonna start in the summer or is it starting the fall semester?
So for the beautification, that's gonna be coming up, I believe in May, I don't have the timing right now. And then,
aligned with the college beautification day, it is May.
okay, it's in May, yeah.
Oh, nice.
And like, what was it? Oh, okay, yeah, and then other activities like pumpkin feeding, that's what, so the reason why we're trying to do the pumpkin is because I know that last semester, I don't know who hosted the pumpkin carving, and maybe we're like trying to throw that or throw it together, so, a lot of it is just to be able to kind of have a lot of good things together.
Yeah, that sounds super cool. Any more questions? Comments?
Yeah, so for the new place that you're trying to get all the things for, are you gonna be using the other one less, like you're just like relocating, so are you like buying all new equipment after that? Like what kind of equipment do you?
So we're gonna be needing like, rakes, shovels, the greenhouse, trestles, and everything that we need for the gardening, to be successful in that.
So you're like revamping the space?
Yeah.
Do you have like a spreadsheet with the cost of tools and whatnot?
We haven't.
Gotcha. Are you guys able to display that?
Oh, they're trying to do screen share.
Yes, I can do. So that.
I
is
think-
an allocation, right?
Yes, for well, I think for like, so this club usually provides us the spreadsheet, but I don't think they got a spreadsheet for this allocation request. Or maybe not. Let me review.
What's the new location you're looking for those new greenhouses
We
at?
were thinking right by the gardening, space that we have out in the science building. So right behind that wooded statue.
Is it kind of more like a tented greenhouse temporary? Okay. This facility can work for you just in case, so like, yeah, hydrants don't blow away, right? Or,
I'm so sorry, what was
I
that?
was just saying if they're like kind of a tent material, this facility's gonna work with you to make sure like it's stayed down in the ground.
Oh,
so it
yeah.
doesn't blow away. Okay, perfect.
And yeah, we added more tools within that allocation and we do have stakes in.
How big are they? Both of them.
The measurements
Oh,
are
it's
gonna
on
be
there,
on
okay.
again. Alright.
We're currently working on putting that spreadsheet up.
Another question too,
Yeah.
did the school ever say why they wouldn't allow you guys access the other one without advisor present?
Because the greenhouse is actually also used for a classroom, the
Oh,
botany
okay.
class, I believe, or like plant biology and that.
So these would be specifically for you guys.
Mhm.
That's also standard for all.
Now.
What's that?
Also standard for all facilities that are attached to like.
So is this like then, is there different than for setting up a temporary greenhouse?
I love how you guys have it.
Really nice spreadsheet.
Can you like try to like scroll down a little bit?
Thought about buying the tools secondhand, rather than buying them at retail price?
We're just working what we have, so like, I know Amazon, we have like there's a lot of different like. How do I?
School has to pre-approve the
Yeah.
merchant, right? Yeah.
And
There's certain areas we
we have a partnership with
Yeah,
Amazon.
that's why we don't get them secondhand, other than.
Gotcha.
Do you typically buy seeds from Amazon, like do you go to a specific seller or?
Yep, we just get it from Amazon.
There's other areas in GR that, was it Flowerland and some areas that can give you a cheaper price.
I don't know if we have any partnerships with them, no.
The thing is, when we do the allocations, we always fill out a form, and within that form, it lets us know that, or it wasn't the allocation, it was a different form where it lets us know what GRCC is partnered with. So we can't just say, I'm gonna go and put a link in Dollar Tree if our school doesn't partner with them, because then it'll be the taxes that they need to exempt. So it's a lot of things.
So I have a lot of questions.
That's why we rely kind of on this Amazon link, so it's a little bit easier to.
I don't think cheaper.
Purchase.
It's a long process
I think it
too.
would make more sense to
Merchant.
support local,
Yeah.
support local businesses too, or.
Well, or just to be able to purchase on the market and not have to go through partnerships with the school. Especially when we're like, it's the things that groups can buy is as diverse as the groups that we can have, so. I mean, we could buy literally anything. Needing it to come straight through Amazon is a pretty narrow window.
Plus it's cheaper offline.
Right, yeah, I mean, you can get used tools for like a tenth the price off of Facebook Marketplace, and they're usually pretty good. We've been talking about like power tools. Obviously, that's not, like, you're not making this decision, but Valerie, what do you think?
Well, I think that these are great comments. And I will say you're not limited necessarily to the vendors that are listed there, but we do have business partnerships for supplies with Amazon, Office Max, a few others. So those are our primary vendors. You can shop outside of that on occasion for specific things that folks want. That has to go through a permission to purchase approval process. I will just say though, that like, I don't think secondhand purchases, Facebook Marketplace and things like that, where you're doing cash payments are things that we would support from a business perspective and a liability perspective for, there are other considerations, like these are food grade materials, right? So we want to make sure that we source those properly too. So I think we could maybe provide some better guidance on like where people can shop and how that permission to purchase process works. And if we can make sure that these comments are recorded, I think that's helpful. But for the purposes of their allocation request, they did use the resources that were provided to them for looking at supply.
Sure. So I did just discover like less than 2 weeks ago, there's PayPal goods and services. So it's a 3% surcharge, but it completely covers you. So it comes through a credit card. And then say if the seller doesn't show up, they don't provide a good product, the product breaks or something like that, PayPal will cover that. So it would be the same type of transaction through Facebook Marketplace that you would get with like Amazon.
We don't currently use PayPal, I don't think, but I can check into that with our finance department.
Okay.
What if students came in and donate stuff too, like if they had old gardening equipment?
So I will just share my concern with the gardening stuff in particular is food grade safety, right? So if we're going to be growing these things for dissemination for people to consume, I think we are going to be a little bit more concerned about where we're getting and sourcing things.
Yeah, I think that's relevant for things like seeds. But I don't think seeds are anywhere close to the main cost on here.
But to not say that there aren't other things in the future that we could look at.
Right.
That option for.
But yeah, obviously this isn't the same, but looking at like power tools for a construction business. If you go to, you could use Amazon or you could go to like Home Depot or something. It might cost, 10 times as much to buy tools through there, 5 times as much as it would be to buy tools secondhand. That's just, how much can we get the $1,700 down to?
How this greenhouse gonna affect the weather change since Michigan is so bipolar? Like, we don't know when it's gonna be snow.
Oh,
when it's gonna be sunshine.
we have other, things like a frost cover to cover the plants that we're growing in the ground.
Yeah.
Okay, well, if no one has any other questions, we can now do a move to vote, so,
So we want to respond to.
okay. Okay, so yeah, those in favor, if you guys could raise your hands, then we'll do a count. In favor, yeah. Okay. I think the majority voted in favor, so this is approved.
Congratulations.
Now we're gonna have some time for public comment and response. Before we start. So. Are you guys aware of like? I don't know, like the change in like leadership, like the college president? Like. Well,
You got in trouble.
No, I don't wanna say something. Like Alicia is here, so I don't.
Yeah.
Okay. Hold on, let me just think.
We
Well-
don't know the circumstances.
Right, yeah. I don't know anything about it, so I don't wanna like, okay, anyways. But we do have the acting president. Her name is Lisa Freiberger. Am I pronouncing that?
Yeah.
So, well, we initially invited her to this town hall meeting, but she was not, able to join today because she had like other meetings. But she wanted to share with you guys that, the Board of Trustees plan to continue to keep the campus community up to date on future decisions on GRCC's presidential leadership. She also wants you to know that the college continues to support you and wishes you a strong finish for the semester. And as always, connect with student government, if you guys have any questions, concerns, or like feedback. So if you guys have any like questions about like anything, you guys can just like, just ask us right now and, we're just gonna email Lisa Freiberger after this meeting. So, yeah, but if you're like too shy to like ask right now, you guys can just like email us.
I've heard, and I'm not sure if this is true, that finding a new college president, the search is going to be a little expensive. Is that true or is that not true? And it's okay if you don't know.
Well, I don't know the answer.
Okay. All right,
So,
that's just the scuttlebutt around campus.
Is it,
Sorry.
we're gonna say in our tuition, just.
Oh. Is that why they wrote it in favor of the search?
Probably. I'm over right now, so you don't notice.
You think it'd be free. Everybody's applying together. Why charge for it?
any more questions or comments about the situation?
I guess, do you feel, I'm sorry, I guess, do you feel like the change in president will really affect a lot of students? Cause I know the collegiate interviewed a good number of students on campus and like nobody knew who the president even was.
correct.
So I guess, I don't know, I feel like, do you think a change in president will affect students or will it affect mostly staff and faculty?
It could affect student leaders too, I feel like, right?
I feel like, yeah,
Yeah, I guess because you
Definitely, yeah.
worked with him more often.
I mean, I never saw him.
Oh, okay.
He showed up when he first started and kind of made his presence known and then kind of disappeared a little bit.
Okay,
think that maybe the goal of finding a new president is to change that. And
okay,
make it so that the new president of the college is more involved, not just with student leaders, but also with just
Yeah.
students.
I would also just like to clarify, he has not been let go,
yes,
so we are not searching for a president right now.
okay,
So just to clarify, he is on leave. And so I think, I just wanna highlight, and I'm not saying that we won't be searching for a new president. But, acting President Freiberger's comments were that the Board of Trustees, that is who supervises the president, that's their only direct supervision that they have on campus.
okay.
They have yet to make a decision on the future of GRCC's presidential leadership, and I'm not just saying that to tell you something different, that is what I have been told.
I appreciate it.
There's a town hall person staff tomorrow as well, which is why I think, Lisa Freiberger wanted to see if you guys had any questions and to share the information here too, just to try and keep everybody up to date and informed of like, we're still in kind of a space where we don't know what's gonna happen next, so.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
So I'm new to this, so maybe these are great questions, but what are his roles specifically, like how is he involved?
Probably like, well, he's basically the face, right, like the face of the college.
He is the ultimate decision maker at the college. The president is in charge of everything underneath the president, and which is everything.
What is that? What is everything?
So it's the fall guy.
Well, yeah.
That's why he didn't let go. The employee It's a relationship between the school and the other one. It's like everything.
Everything that occurs at college is his responsibility.
I think Akira's just asking for like specifics,
Like,
which
okay,
maybe we can't answer.
I have an example,
Yeah, go
so.
ahead.
I think 2 years ago, like, the student employees did not get free parking.
Yeah.
But then this student government told the president that student employees should get free parking. And that decision got approved, so now student employees have free parking, so like that kind of decision. If you guys are looking for anything.
That's very good.
So it is an official job role, he does get a salary.
Yeah, he gets free.
It's like a business concept. There's a CEO, there's a president, there's another co-president behind it, and then soon there's one of the staff underneath, and then soon another that staff over the hierarchy, and it's a manager, and it's an employee of back there. Something like that.
Let's make sure we're capturing all the questions, though, so we can give them to acting president for follow-up.
Maybe like acting president, what is a day in your life? Specific job. What are you doing currently?
Do we need you?
Student government.
I'm sure he did a lot for me, then just, he's very busy, so we can see more. But I think the school is great right now, there's nothing really.
That makes sense, like a deadline to like fully release all the information
Yeah.
and for them to have a concrete decision.
Well,
They will only get all the facts straight.
I think it's always good to have like job role visibility for clear communication and for people to be involved and just to know like who to escalate decisions to, right? So I think it's a, yeah.
Oh, sorry, I didn't know.
No. I think it's useful for everybody to know. Because why would we have somebody in a position and not understand what they do? I think it'd be better for everybody to have a little bit more knowledge on that. Even like here, it's good to ask questions to know how everybody's doing and helps people get involved and actually know what's going on, right? That's how you'll get better support. So I think just having everything laid out would be better for everybody's understanding.
I think it's important to note that our communication as students to the president goes through student government. So any questions, comments, concerns that you have that you want to get higher up goes through student government, whether that's through an email, some kind of form that they offer, or here at town halls. So I know at least from the CAB side perspective of it, I see them and they try to offer that transparency as much as possible for all students and all student leaders. And this is a great opportunity to take advantage of that transparency and get your voices heard, basically, especially to the higher ups of the college. So just to throw that out there. That was perfect.
Yeah, the way you explained it was just. So, student government used to have like a monthly meeting with him. So basically, like what we would do is like, we would collect like all the questions and comments and we would kind of like bring that up to him and kind of like discuss stuff. I think, well, like obviously, like all, like, not all the suggestions are gonna be like, I don't know, like. Yeah, like it's, like, we get a lot of like suggestions and comments and. They're not gonna be like, I don't know, like instant, like, yeah, like we can't. Like, obviously, we can't like provide the solution like right away.
But
At least we start the conversation.
Yes,
you're
like,
getting that message up there.
exactly.
Yeah.
I also wanted to talk about event we host. So student government does lunch with Leper once a year. And that's where like we provide food and then any GRCC student that's around can get some free food and ask their questions directly to the president of GRCC. So last time we did that was October, I think, of last semester. So yeah, that could also be something that helps with that transparency.
I think my team and I have been following this whole situation very closely because it's, cooking up a lot of stuff around campus. And a question that we've posed to a lot of students that I'd like to ask to you guys as well is, do you wish that the president was more involved on campus or that you had a better understanding of what exactly he does?
Yes, but I think he's like very busy, so it's hard for him to find space on his schedule because there's a lot to do in this school.
Yeah.
Maybe I don't know, do we have a vice president, right?
We have a provost, who's technically the second.
Yeah. So, yeah, the same thing if we met one or the other.
Yeah, I tend to see the provost around
Yeah.
campus more often than
So
the
it's,
president.
yeah, we can talk to our student, have something to say, and she can talk to the president.
I think the board of directors has a fantastic idea of what the president is doing. Cause they control what he does, basically, right? Board of directors tells the president what to do.
The board of trustees are technically just
Trustees.
boss, so they give like. they
Yeah,
do
board of
performance
trustees,
reviews.
right. I feel like they know exactly what his schedule is, and if they don't wanna include that, then we'd have to go to them. Right? You can't, ask him to do something if his boss won't let him, so. I think we got to talk to the trustees, we want him to be out more on campus.
I graduated from Western Aviation. We're really close with our CEO and our stuff. It just, have their own private life. It's just the way, yes, our students want to hear the voice, but there's some parts where we can reach it. There's some parts, there's decisions that we can't make it ourselves, but through the student government themselves. Every mind is different. It's just like, if we want our voices heard, we have to go to them and then student goes from there, and then student goes from there. Changes takes time. We need to be patient towards like what we want. Yes, of course we want it. We can't just make it happen now. We just need to take time for others, next generation to just to hear our voices again. Then soon changes will be slowly from them. It needs time. We can't just rush everything and go back and forth. Like, there's one problem that we try and solve. There's another problem that lays on it. We need to solve the first one before we continue with the next one.
I personally would like to know what everybody in staff does, but I don't know what easy and official way.
They could just be like an organizational chart, like within any other corporation, there's like.
Yeah,
like
so
structures.
why don't we climb the chart? Why not just unite and understand each other? Then we go slowly from there.
Well, you're not talking about like
Yeah.
getting information up to anybody, it's just having the people having your customers, which is us, understanding what the positions are in staff. Cause like that's what you're paying.
Yeah.
It's like prior today, and I've worked in like multiple companies, and it really helps get things done. Like you said, it takes time, it takes data, it takes information. And you can only communicate that if you know who to give the information to.
Yeah, but
Prior to today, I had no idea. So it's like any other student, you see how small this meeting is. Like, this is a pretty big deal. Most people don't even know what's going on. And I think the best way to get people involved is for one, to tell them, of course, but also make clear like what the expectations are and things like that. I think that's very fair. We're all adults, we all spend money to come here. Like, somebody had mentioned like tuition being affected, like that affects each of us individually. So I don't think it's too much to ask what's going on just for some visibility of like, hey, like, how are decisions made? Of course, like it takes time, but we don't even know how to bring it up and we don't know who to give it to. So it's not that we're like rushing anybody for it or anything, or like trying to.
that way.
Right. But,
So-
yeah, organizational chart is great.
Yeah, absolutely. So to respond to that, I again would like to emphasize that I love the idea of an organizational chart of available to students to explain what role does. Perhaps that's something that student government could bring up with the acting president, as well as whoever steps into the presidential role in the future. And to get that word out is through the collegiate, and I think that they've done a phenomenal job at making sure that articles are written. The issue that, from my understanding, they run into is students just aren't reading the articles.
Yeah.
So I think that we have all of these resources available to students, it's just not known, and we're trying to make it known, but still that resource isn't known. So again, we have social media, we utilize that constantly, we have town halls, we have signs all over campus. So everything you're saying makes sense, and I think that it's just important to understand that we have those resources and we're trying to make them known. And you bringing it up makes it more of a conversation, which will continue to get that word out and continue to make it known. So thank you for bringing that up. Yes.
I had a question for student government.
Yeah.
Would you wanna ask Lisa if she'd be interested in doing lunch with Lisa with you guys, if she's still around in the fall?
Yeah, maybe. Actually, that one's
sounds
better,
good.
so. Yeah, I heard that she's retiring like this May though, so I don't know if that's gonna happen.
Lisa.
We need to just keep getting presidents with L names so we can keep up that.
But still keeping that opportunity to have this conversation with the president, I think is important. I think is what the point I was trying to make is, but yeah, we just want to make sure that students understand what resources are out there and that we are making an effort to make them known. But it's a struggle, but we're trying.
Doing great over there.
So, do you guys think like hosting like, I don't know, like the event, like lunch leopard thing, like every semester or like every like academic year, do you think that like definitely helps out to like know like about the president and all that stuff?
Absolutely, I think giving students like a direct connection to the president, being able to talk to him, shake his hand or her hand or their hand. Yeah, really makes a difference.
Yeah, that's how I learned about it. I wonder too if you could expand that.
Yeah, like
To
more.
other administrators and like lunch with administrators or something, I don't know.
Yeah.
Just so you have, talks with more of the administrators.
Yeah, have lunch with the guys, meet the class, and I'll be on, right?
Yeah, just. Cause I'm sure everyone's got different responsibilities and maybe your idea or comment correlates with what their responsibility is, so.
And I think that that's a great way to lead back to. Akira, Akira's point where students need to know what the people who are running their college are doing behind the scenes, so, yeah, I think that that's a great way to. Behind the curtains. Yes.
Yeah, so we do have, so like we're currently like writing down all the questions and comments on the agenda. There's a Google Doc. So if you guys wanna like add more stuff, feel free. I think everyone should have access to it. Do you guys have like any more questions or comments?
Thank you guys so much for contributing to this conversation.
Yeah, like otherwise we're just gonna. So our vice president, Jennifer, is gonna read all the questions, just like make sure that we got them right. Before we like end
Yeah.
this.
This is what we have written from this discussion that we've had. So one question, would finding the new president be expensive? Would tuition increase due to the change? Would the change impact students? And if yes, how? And also, does the president get paid? What are his job responsibilities? The specifics about that? What is the deadline for this decision? And talk with the board of trustees to inquire more about the duties of the president. And then we have like some bullet points. Basically what we're asking for is more connections and transparency between the president and students, more presence on campus. Students want a clear outline of the organizational roles within the college, and more events like lunch with Leopard or with other administration. So does that capture?
I also just, because I worked at a manufacturing, so it's just the way that I do things, but like, in terms of like bringing up requests, like for funds, is there like a standard to or like criteria to meet, like when decisions are made?
Are you talking about like the allocation request? Yeah, so are you familiar with Radar Connect?
Just found it, yes.
Yeah, so like everything should be there. So there's like a section that you can fill out like a bunch of forms. So basically like clubs usually like fills out the allocation request form first. And then if it gets approved, then you can submit permission to purchase form, and that's like actually when the stuffs get ordered.
Yeah, if you submit an amount that is less than $1,000, student government usually meets once a week and then we'll review that on our own. And then if we approve it, the club will get an email about it. Or if like we have any other questions, and those will be going on over the summer as well, I think with the new incoming student government. So you can still do one of those for the summer if you're interested. But yeah, since this is the last town hall of the, I guess, semester, because there's no town halls over the summer. Town halls are the only time that you can ask for an allocation request of over $1,000.
I just wanted to share that. I don't know if everybody knows this, but if you go to the library, Interactive Public Library next door. You can get 50 pages free, colored
Oh, yeah.
or not, in the printer. So if you gotta do flyers or whatever. FYI, I didn't know that, so she told me. I was getting my paper looked at, and she told me that, I'm like,
They're closer to a KBO library as well.
yeah.
I think they should lower the price of the printing here because at GDSU, I think it's only 5 cents a page. I don't know, but here it's 10 cents black and white.
Yeah, I mean,
So it depends.
that's a good
Price.
dollar is like $1.
Just go sign up for a library card. No, the library. I got two, and I'm pretty sure if you have like a KDL library card, that same card also works for this library. There's.
We don't need a card to print. You can just go and send them by email which month you can do it.
There's a.
I mean, I think it's easier to have a card, because I have the card, I'm just kidding. Yeah, you guys have, I mean, that's like the end of the semester, so I don't know if anybody has any like upcoming events. Anything like that,
Anything planned for the summer?
Good luck on final.
Can we be done now?
I'm just joking. Well, make sure to show up to our free food event. Now Jenna's gonna share the CAB volunteer opportunity.
Yeah, so I go through this like every town hall, I wanna make it, knowing that Campus Activities Board offers a lot of opportunities for volunteering. As Victoria talked about earlier, we have 2 events coming up, not this week, but next, our Free Food Day, as well as our, graduation cap decorating. You can use volunteers for both of those events. The volunteer description and sign up form are both listed on Labor Connect. You should also have a Google form. On Instagram, yes, thank you. So if you, or anybody you know are interested in volunteering, using volunteering hours, please make that known to them. We accept community members as well as students, so anyone who is in need, let them know. Or you can email me, just trying to share at residency.edu, yes.
Also, Rotaract, my club, will be operating over the summer. So if you know anybody who is going to do a 4-year, needs volunteer hours for some reason, look us up on Raider Connect. And we'll get some work done, get those hours.
Speaking of, student, organization registration is open. So those who are staying for summer, be sure to submit those as soon as you can. And everybody else, you can apply now, between now and summer, to come back for fall, ready to go.
And then, I mentioned this earlier, but, in addition to the summer activity form, we also have an event survey form. So if you attended any of the Campus Activities Board events this year or last year, this semester or last semester, please feel free, there's a QR code on the agenda, it's also on Raider Connect. Just give us some feedback, and then, like I said before, there's an opportunity to share some ideas for what you'd like to see on campus.
One other thing, Rotaract, our speaker that's supposed to come tomorrow, he got very sick.
Oh, no.
So that will not be happening. That event is canceled.
Okay.
But the meeting is not, so show up. Let's see what's going on.
There you go. Lemonade.
Yeah.
Right. Some comments, questions, or anything? Alright, I think.
I have a question for us. How did you read, the Campus Life newsletter or know about it?
I remember seeing it. I thought it stopped.
My audience is like, I skip through it and I delete it.
Do you guys see the events on them? Like, do you get anything out of it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The audience is.
I should.
Yeah.
I think by email it's a great way to do, is what you do right now. Because we did a survey with my almost program thing, and most of the people know about events by emails. So, just want to say.
I'm asking because student government collected all of your feedback and questions for the executive team. This is the last town hall. So I'm hoping you guys can share that with maybe Oleg or maybe preparing a main newsletter. And getting that information out, and it sounds like maybe Alexa may have an interest in it too, so. Okay.
Alright, well, thanks for coming, and there are some wings and cheesecake, so don't be shy, grab some.
Anyone who during the fall, back to town halls.
Yeah. I'll be gone. Did you get your hoodie from Paul's?
During the budget.
Did you get your shirt from Paul's? I'm sorry? Because I was in the bottom, I don't think it ordered it. So I can wear it this weekend, and I was like, hey, you look great, anybody, Rick's gonna think that I called it.
You're the second person to tell me that.
Oh,
How do you know the score? I could have got this anyway.
Every time I see Brendan, I'm like, it's in there.
Yeah, please.
I know, I'm out of here, I know.
It's the same. Anywhere on it.
Right.